So this wasn't. I mean, it began stupidly, honestly, but I particularly like the editing. By the way, apparently the editor might have done Star Wars. Apparently, he might be most notable, but at any rate, yeah. Otherwise, so I mean, as a story in itself, uh, well, just most critics apparently didn't like the twist at the end, but it, yeah, actually, that's one of the better things in my opinion about it. I mean, it's sort of interesting to play like that. At one point, I was suspecting that it might all be contradictory, or not everything that the movie is saying. Because why would they literally begin like that? If it's supposed to be some sort of detective mystery thing, and indeed that happened. But I don't know why I didn't. I just never suspected him specifically. I might have suspected Perez because he was most animated about it, I suppose, and also, what was it, like a former partner of. Um, what I didn't like, though, in particular, was the fact that, particularly in the first half of the movie, not so much the second half. Second half was better than, in my opinion. The twist wasn't bad, in my opinion, either. It just the way it was though done though was a bit wasted. I mean, just yeah, if it wasn't, it didn't at all fit under the definition of the title. They just asked someone to, he was literally there as well to, so it just doesn't. So, and in that sense, it's not fully well, and I'm not saying this is even, but the th- the bit I disliked the most was the beginning, when they just made so light of the murders. Like, what the heck? Like, it would be absolutely unacceptable if that happened for real, but real or not, it's happening in a movie. I don't know why they do it. Like, come on. Once, at one point, they were just commenting on a TV while a dead body lies there, and it wasn't even a big TV. They were just astonished by a relatively small TV. Um, whatever. Just I don't know honestly if whoever put those in thought that somehow it was interesting or funny even. It's really not. Um, so that's a primary problem, I think, in my opinion, in this movie. I mean, it clearly wants to also have some sort of commentary about whether or not justice is really just and such, but it fails because of this nonsense. Like, they even try to make some sort of weird jokes earlier on as well about some sort of names that I still don't get. I'm not sure if it's really supposed to be a joke. You know, the, and yet it was just half the move. I don't know what happened the other half. They just forgot it or something. I guess they were just more preoccupied for real, supposedly. But it just shows a bit of a divergent sort of concentration, I suppose. Focus by the screenwriters. It The first half shouldn't have happened, though. Maybe shouldn't. And then, as I say, I mean, I don't mind the twist, but the fact that he shot Spider, makes no sense because they were just asking him for help, literally. So why? At least the others have some sort of rationale behind them. Like an accused rapist laughing in court because he's just been acquitted, etc. Of course, what these movies miss ultimately, and yes, this is similar to The Brave one, which I've also commented on recently, and in fact, Jodie Foster was mentioned by Spider. So that was interesting, considering I just watched it. I'm not sure why I've watched these two then so close to each other. Not intentional, it was, but anyway. Um, but yeah, the one thing these movies miss in the end, at least these two, I don't know if others go in any deeper. So I, the Braver one went deeper than this, though. Honestly, I mean, at least it wasn't idiotic like the first half was, yeah. And yeah, it still didn't go deep enough. But anyway, I commented on it elsewhere. This is the thing. I mean, if they want to comment on whether the justice system is lacking or not, they need to go further. They need to ask what exactly is lacking, why the acquittal happened, etc. Just needs to happen. The Brave one didn't tackle it either. It just skimmed over the surface, but that's it. Because ultimately, it's obviously problems won't be solved by any sort of vigilante, and so if movies truly want to tackle the subject, you need to go much deeper there. But this wasn't deep at all. This was frivolous, idiotic at best. Obviously it wanted to fool the audience. So unlike the Brave one, which was more of a character study. Uh, but yeah, it's not that I didn't like the twist, as I said, but it clearly the whole movie hinged on some sort of dark comedy sort of sense, and when it comes to that was like I said earlier, it just doesn't really work at all, and then there are other things as well. Like I don't understand why he decided to go. So what did you say? Like um he said something like doing worse, going darker or something, and it ended up what really raping supposedly his own colleague. That makes no sense whatsoever. Uh, I, I mean, that makes no sense. Just because that Russian was going to wake up doesn't, that it's a non sequitur. It's what use is harassing her at all would do? I mean, she was looking into the cases, but certainly won't stop looking if you do that. And as far as I know, she'd see him. She saw him as far as I know. I mean, I still like though how it misdirected the audience. Because indeed, all the time I was thinking that the Nero indeed was Fisk. Who knew he was reading someone else's notebook? So I like that. I like sort of I suppose psychology sort of movies. I like most of this sort of genre, but the story really wasn't really that good. So I can see where the critics come from. I mean, it's even by the general audiences, it's rated slightly above average. Not exactly anything, you know. Then again, I still don't get. I mean, why other movies than you is in are so much more highly rated because they're all sort of similar, within this genre at least. I know he does comedy as well, but anyway, yeah, just um, apparently Taxi Driver might be somewhat similar as well to the Brave one as well, but I haven't seen it yet, so yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Ultimately, I did like the misdirection though. Um, I just didn't like the idiotic attempts at being very pretty much unfunny earlier. But I also like the editing on the other hand, how they spliced scenes together and with the psychologist and such. So it was interesting. I mean, yeah, the ending isn't spectacular, like others have said, but the very ending that is, not calling an ending and such, not sure exactly why that was, and doesn't have much of a rationale. But otherwise, it's still a below average sort of okay movie, but it's not really okay. It's sort of below average. I don't know. Just That's the thing. I prefer a brave one.